Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous, my adventures, permit systems. And we're still in the Pilots Federation of systems. So we haven't left that yet. So our Pilots Federation permit has not been revoked yet until we dock at a station outside of the Pilots Federation. So while we're roaming, please look to the bottom right of the video and hit that subscribe. You want to see interesting drama-filled videos, and I need your subscription. So I'm doing my best to hold up my end, creating interesting videos, and I would hope you'd keep your end and subscribe, because I need that. Because with YouTube, it only works if you get subscribers. I don't have near enough subscribers yet. We are getting some blips on the top back of our... Woo! We're falling. Oh, yeah, we just kind of went off that cliff. Thank goodness it was still sort of on a slope. Okay. And we only lost 1% of integrity, so we're good. Again, like I've said before, as soon as you dock the SRV, maintenance is done on your SRV, so the integrity goes back to 100%. But fueling doesn't. So we have to do that at a station. Even if I fuel scoop, it does not fill up the SRVs. So that's only done at the station. Let's see what this interesting is all about, because that's what we do. We check the interesting out, and sometimes we find crash sites where they have 8 or 6 occupied escape pods in them. So we have to check them out, or we would never find them. This is how we find the interesting, is by checking it out. It is very slick, and on my power distribution I have the engines on the very first notch, or half a notch. You know, trying to keep it from sliding around so much. But it still slides around. Yeah, we have Trespass zone coming up. Down to 50%, but this is our last planet until we go to a dock and drop off our occupied escape pods. Let's see if they'll allow us to come over here and see what's in these canisters, because that's what we do. We have to be nosy. We have to see what's here. And they're clean, they're not wanted. Oops, I'm always hitting the wrong button. That's why a few of the things I've had to put on voice to keep from hitting the wrong button. Okay. So we'll check out some other things. And we'll probably wind up going to the main menu and back, because we don't want to confuse that site when we see it come up on the radar again, on the sensor when we're pointing that direction. Looking for our next target that we're going toward. Of course, we have that location. There's no real strong signal, so since we don't have a real strong signal, I'm going to go ahead and go back and let it repopulate. Always playing solo. Is this full? My human encounters, all I want is that between me and my viewers. I don't need any more pirates to human pirates, because they say those are far worse than the NPC ones. Waiting for that back sensor to start populating again. Getting a little bit, some vertical bars, and that usually turns into other thans. We might go in that direction just to see if they fully populate or not. Let's just do a circle around to see if we get a stronger signal somewhere. So you can see that last trespass zone doesn't show up now because we went back to the main menu and back. So we're clean and we can find new things. But if you're like me, you don't want to see the same thing over and over again. You want to see new things. And that was the first back a little bit earlier, going off that cliff, and that was kind of the furthest way down I've ever gone off of one of those cliffs. My son had talked about he went off one time, and yeah, he didn't survive that one. That $264 or 4 credit rebuy, he had that one. What's crazy about this ship that we have is that, like, behind us there's some really level ground, and that ship, when you recall it, it has to go as far away as possible, and then it's not on always level ground, and I have to send it off again and have it come back down because I can't get under it to board the ship. So yeah, this game is very much an obstacle course. It's much more about obstacle course than it is reality. Obstacle course and pirates. That's their top 2 focus for the developers. Yeah, it would help if I had a cargo scoop on.
Deployed.
And we can't take sulfur because 300 of 300. We have all the sulfur we can take currently. And there's not a material trader, or I would bump them up to a higher grade in trade. So I don't have that option until I get outside of the Pilots Federation of systems. And I'm sure they do that on purpose. They want you to leave. They don't want you to stay here forever. They want you to go out into the galaxy. And we will. See, I'm using my account that I use for my beginning series. It's for new players. So that's why I'm still in the Pilots Federation. But you get to see it if you're outside of the Pilot Federation. You can use my videos as a video reference. And you can view them anytime. Because since we can't get into the Pilots Federation after our permit is revoked, we're always wondering about something. We wish we could go back in there and see such and such. Now we don't have any really good signals. Might have to just pick up an area and go in that direction and see if it gets better. But if you want to suggest games too, now what I'm always looking for is the simulation of, you can check out Ultimate Fishing Simulator, my video on that, and then you see the Elite Dangerous, and you see the types of games. And No Man's Sky is right on the edge. It's still a little cartoonish, so it's not as realistic. But it does seem to be interesting. My son plays it all the time, and he really likes it. And he's got me looking at it in the past. So I'm looking at that one. Not that I have to put on a third one, but I will finish my videos on Ultimate Fishing Simulator at some point. And I'm the type that needs to continually do stuff that's different. If you're like me, I get bored pretty easily. And that's why, another reason I'm doing the videos, because I was getting bored, and I've restarted the game twice, Elite Dangerous twice, because I got bored with it. So I need to keep it exciting. And I'm sure you're the same way. Let's find some flatter land to get on. It's really rough up there. Okay. There's not lots of others and stuff. We keep looking. Always takes us to the roughest parts. And I've said it many times, when I first started playing VR, I'd get motion sickness like crazy in this SRV. But that eventually went away. And so it's not so bad. You get used to it. What I've told my wife, if I'm going to ever do a cruise, I'm going to do a lot of SRV running on rough planets right before we go. So I get that motion sickness issue out of the way. See, I was never able to read a book in a car while being the passenger, of course. And I can now. Not just since Elite Dangerous in VR, but you know, I slowly tried to read a little bit and to try to get used to it, and then I'd stop and then do a little more, and then it got to the point I could read in the car. Just like with VR, just do a little at a time, and you'll get used to it. Let's look for other thans. And we just haven't had a lot of other thans here. Okay. This might be our last one. And then we'll go to the station and drop off our occupied escape pods. Because they're probably getting tired of being in that escape pod. I'd be bored in there too. Maybe they got a video screen or something and hand controllers down by their side. Or that they're in some kind of sleep state while they're in that thing until they're let out, hopefully. Sulfur we can't take, as we're full. But we're going to use this material when we go to Felicity Farseer in this beginning series. Okay, sys ship. Sys ship.
Ship recalled.
So I have to see where it goes. I'm sure it won't, well, it'll probably be here just because this is a place where you definitely would not expect it to show up. Yeah, it's going to be far away. Now, we're not in the best of place ourselves, so wouldn't expect it to try to park in here. But it's about 600 meters. But I've had it higher than 1.5 kilometers when there was smooth ground closer. So that's is aggravating. And I've had it to where I can't get under the ship because of the way she's setting or something like that, and I've had to dismiss it and then recall it, and it'll be another 1.5 kilometers away. And it's like, really? And because of the bay doors, it's hard to come in from the side. Doesn't set high enough. I don't have nearly the trouble out of my Python as I have with this Cobra. Sit down. So thank you for roaming the planet with me. Lots of fun. I like having you along. Make sure at the bottom right you click that subscribe button. I need the subscriptions more than anything else. So please help me there. Below the video to the left, you will see my YouTube channel, GFM_RDG. Go there, and I've got 300 videos that you can view, or over 300. So there's an about box or about tab on my YouTube channel. So go there and you'll see the rules for my drawings, giveaways, things like that. So until next time, thank you for tagging along. Goodbye.